Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the pandemic assignment for year 8. So in this assignment, we're going to be doing some linear modeling of data. All right, so let's have a quick look at some of these slides. We're going to skip that one because it's a bunch of teacher jargon. And we're going to have a look at this. So the task requires you to present data from one historical pandemic or epidemic in 4 different ways. Okay, so it'll be some critical thinking, problem solving, drawing conclusions and making predictions. This video, I want to show you how to set up the data and how to draw these linear lines. All right, first of all, we're going to have two variables. One is time, and the other one is the number of people. That could be the number of people infected or died in some cases, depending on which one you pick. What you have to do is pick one of the data sets. Now, I'm going to pick one, but I'm going to modify it. So please don't copy my data because it won't work, because it is wrong, but similar. So I think I'm going to pick slide number 9 because it's one of the more challenging ones. If you pick slide 6, that's easy. You may only get a pass, and if you do well with some of the later ones, there'll be bonus marks, so higher marks for that one. All right. So that's the first data set. That one's quite easy. So we're going to go and skip down to, all right, all right. And we're going to go, so I'm going to pick, maybe not, which one should I do? I think I'll do influenza, but mine's going to be slightly different from this. Okay. So what do you need to do? Well, we're going to be representing that as a table of values. We're going to be graphing that, and we're going to find equations of linear lines which will fit the data. Okay. We'll leave the other part for maybe another video or another class. So what you need to be doing is, if you haven't already made an account, sign up in Desmos. The reason why we make an account is so that whatever we do can get saved. So you see, I've got a bunch of saved graphs, including a demonstration I did today for my class in year 8. So we have some table data, and you can see we have segments of lines going on here. All right. So, but I'm actually going to start new. Okay. So the way to do this, first of all, we're going to set up a table. So click on the plus sign over here and go to table. You see we have an X and a Y. So we're going to start putting in numbers. All right. So I'm going to start by putting in some of the numbers for influenza, but I'm going to change it up a little bit, as I said, so you can't copy my work. You have to use this one or one of the other slides. All right. So let's have a look. So I might just, for the sake of this, you can open up two things at once. So I'm going to put in 1 to 18, 3, 67, 4, 266. So see, mine's actually different from what you should be getting. 5, 1,590, 6, 7,001, and 7. Last one, I'm going to do 18,000. Okay, 18,101. Because why not? Okay, now, so I don't actually need this anymore because I was just making up my numbers anyway. Okay, but now you can see we can only see 1 point. That's an issue. So what could we do? Well, we zoom out. All right, now you can see 2 or 3. Keep going. All right, 4. Now you need to see 7. So we need to go right up to see all of them. So that's a little bit too far. Okay, we can see all of them there, but you notice how they're all clustered and they're all very straight up. The reason why this is the axes are consistent in X and Y. So you notice how you go across these large squares, you've got 500 and you've got 500. Problem with that is our data is very small movement in X and big movements in Y. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to click on here and we're going to actually customize this. So now my X only goes from 1 to 7. So I'm going to include the axis by adding -1, and I'm going to get rid of that. and that is, let's go to 8. Oops. All right. So subtract that and go 8. Okay, so let's have a look now. Actually, this is perfect, pretty much, because I already zoomed out with the Y. But if you do want to cut Y, we can change that a little bit. Don't need this much space, and maybe make that minus 200 or so. And we don't quite need as much space in top, so the largest value was uh, 20, oh, sorry, it was 18,000. So we'll just do maybe 19,000. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just to help you see. Okay, all right. So now you've got most of your data and it's taking up most of the space. Actually, I'm missing one. Actually, no, I've got nowhere near as much. I'm sorry, that's 15,000. Sorry, one number too short. There we go. That should do it. Now we should. Nope, not quite. All right, one more. Change that from 17 to 19. We're missing the last data point. Okay, so 19,000, you'll be able to see it. So you need to have, you need to be able to see all your data points. Okay, so when it comes to this, we need to find some linear lines to join up these dots. So that's one of the tasks we're doing. Okay, so if you're joining up ones that are over here, for example, you notice how that's very horizontal. I would suggest zooming in. You can always zoom out again later on. Zoom in, please. Okay. All right. Let's just zoom out so we can actually see where I went. There we go. All right. So zoom in because not a lot of growth on that first section. Yeah, you may have to customize this a little bit because I can see this is going to be quite challenging in that respect. All right, so maybe even okay. So you can look at the numbers and make your own customization. That's fine for the X. Let's go to the Y. All right, so we're going to change this one. Seeing how we go from 1 to 18. Let's go from maybe you can always undo this later on. Okay. To 20. Okay. 20. Okay. There we go. So I can see my two dots there. Now I'm going to make a line. All right, the way we make a line, there's a couple ways you can do this, but we're going to do it this way. Y equals mx plus c. Okay, and we're going to add sliders. All right, so I did this in a previous class and it seemed to work pretty well. Now, the problem with doing it this way is you may find that you don't have enough range. So let's see if we go. If I want to have that pass through there and make it steeper, okay. Now I can't make it steep enough. You see how it's not going up? The way we change this is we have to go to that number there, and we had minus 10 to 10. We actually don't need minus anything. So let's go to, let's give this a 20. And that gives us a bit more freedom to increase this. So let's have a look. Let's go up. Okay. All right, move this slider across a bit more. Actually, no, need to go lower. So this actually needs to go lower as well. So we need to go to minus 20 for that one. And keep that other one there, 10, or maybe 20, that's fine. All right. So you may need to keep increasing these as we go. So let's do that one. Okay, so that slided there. Okay, so that's now passing through here, and just go point up a bit. You're going to keep having to do this until you get it right. Okay. All right. This does take a bit of trial and error. Okay, still going. All right, still going. All right, and yeah, we're pretty close now. So a little bit of slight adjustment. Okay, maybe down a tidge, and then straight up. Okay, that's pretty good now. All right, so we have our segment there. You can adjust it a little bit more if you wanted to, but I think that's fine. Now, notice we got an M value of 17.1, and we have a C value of minus 16.2. What we're going to do here is we're going to write in Y equals, instead of M, 17.1 x minus 16.2. And you see that lies on top. But we're going to add one more thing. We don't want this to go on forever. So we're going to put in a bracket here. And what we're going to do is, okay, we want this to go from 1 to 2. You can see that? You've got x equals 1 and x equals 2. And we're going to go from 1 to 2. And what we do inside that is we're going to put a greater than symbol, an x, and another greater than symbol inside there. All right. Now, just to show that that works, I'm going to turn off this graph. And now we can see that we have a single line that only joins up those 2 points. Okay. All right. Sometimes in your data, you might find that that line might pass through another point and you can continue it to the second point. We can see here, we need a much steeper line for this next section. So we're going to do one more. All right. So we're going to use, turn this back on and we're going to go even steeper and see if we can connect the next two. All right. So it looks like 20 is not going to be steep enough. It needs to go higher than this. So we go click on that number there and we're going to go, I might just turn that all the way up to 40. So I can just keep going. So let's move our sliders. All right. So if it looks like it's parallel, so if it looks like that would be the same as that steepness, we could then go play around with our C value. So we need a larger negative again. So let's go increase our maximum negatives, maybe make that 40 as well, see what happens. All right, and we move that across. Nope, need even more. So let's just go for broke and just give me the freedom to go all the way to minus 100. Okay, so keep going. Now you could actually just increase the maximums in total, but you find you lose a little bit of accuracy when you do that. So it's all right to play around with this until it works. Now we need more than 40. Let's go to, whoops, not that end. Go to 50. Okay, so 50 and keep moving. All right. Oops, I haven't actually increased it. There we go. All right, that looks a bit better. All right, getting there. Maybe a little bit more steepness. All right. Okay, and a tiny bit more. All right. So, okay. So you can see we've got a second one. So that looks like it's going through those 2 points, and it's like right on 50, and it looks pretty good. And the other value is minus 82.6. So let's write that one down here. Y equals 50 x minus 82.6. Okay, and turn that one off, make sure that works. Yes, you can also customize the colors as well. If you want to click on that, we'll make that orange. There we go. All right, so now we also need a boundary. Now this point is x equals 2 and 3. So just a little cheat is I can just copy that over, but I have to change my numbers. Paste that in. Okay, so that's wrong because it's passing the wrong points, but I'm going to go from 2 to 3. There we go. And now you got your second like segment. So you're going to have to keep going with this, zoom out, readjust. So yeah, so readjust your windows and whatnot so you can actually see it close enough so you can actually make a good judgment. But keep working like that. So the next one's going to be even steeper. So you would have to increase your M value beyond 50. You might even just go for something like 100. All right, I'm not going to do all of these. You get the general idea. All right, let's turn that back on. So that's my black line. Let's go. Okay, you get that nice and steep. That won't even be steep enough. 100 is not even steep enough, so you have to go more. All right, hopefully you get the general principle. I'm going to pause the video and just finish this off. Okay, let's just resume. So I've done most of it now. You can see you've got the line segments. And if you zoom in on these, you'll be able to see they're pretty well connect. I'm going to do the final one, which is from 6 to 7. All right. Now, so let's switch on our little thing again. And we're going to swing this around. I just want to demonstrate one little thing. When you start getting very large numbers, you see we get pretty big jumps in that, which is unfortunate. So you're going to have to get something that's close, and then you might just have to do a little bit of fine tuning. All right, so We've got that, a little bit more steepness, in a little bit more. Okay. And there. All right. Yeah. Now, basically, when you get close, you can start copying it in. And the last step is just to adjust these numbers slightly until they work. So I'm just going to copy in the ones I've got now. 6900. Let's get rid of that. Actually, that's, oops, wrong one, wrong number. Okay. Okay. Don't forget to save. All right. And the last thing you have to do is you have to slightly, so we might just do some fine tuning, just keep messing these numbers. So it needs to be a little bit steeper. I need to bring it a little bit down, so more downness. There we go, a bit more steepness, and you can just play around with this until you get it just right. So steepness, let's go up a bit more. Let's bring it down a bit. Some more negative, more steepness, another 100. Bring it down, another 1,000. Okay, and yeah, let's go a bit more. And that was actually a big jump. Can I fix that? Probably not. No, it's too far. 5.9. All right, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a little bit. Do I need to go to the? I need to go a tiny bit up. So let's just break that. Do an 8 and make that half. Yeah, that's okay. It's good enough. The final one. So I'm going to paste in that and make sure that is from 6 to 7. And we have now got our graph. So now last thing I wanted to show you is how to share this, because I think particularly if you do something like this, it's important for your teacher to be able to see that all your lines are actually good when they zoom in. So you can click on this one here and share your graph. So you can go to copy. All right. You can also take a screen cap, print, or export image, but this one I want you to send. So copy that, and you can send that to your teacher as part of the assignment. All right. Thanks for watching.